Pile 2, I apologize because I'm going to have you link to this video in order to get the debriefing and be able to continue on for the next piles. But that's probably very significant because this energy was very, very big to kind of like dive into. So here's the debriefing for it. And I really do encourage, once we go through the debriefing, if this is something that is what you currently are resonating with, I encourage you to jump in and listen from the beginning, but it will require you to go back to the other beginning of the video. So it'll be a second link, or I'll make sure there are 2 different links for each pile. So here's the debriefing. You are being required to do transformation at a level where it's small at first and it builds over time. You're being asked to look at the people that are around you that are not serving your highest good, that may be very toxic, that have their own addiction tendencies, their own mental battles that they struggle with, and really evaluate if you are picking up everyone's battle for themselves or for yourself, or how do I word this? If you are someone that is constantly going to save someone from being wounded or hurt, you're being asked to kind of retreat and start doing that for yourself, because you have these wounds that you've been carrying and that need to be resolved. And your partner currently, your future relationship, your future soulmate, is potentially at this place where they cannot authentically be themselves because they have to change everything about themselves in order to make whoever they're with happy. And they may even be in a relationship themselves, just starting a relationship themselves, and you can see that they are not being their true selves. And even though you want to come in and cut the cord so that way they can see it, they're going to keep doing this exact same thing. And because right now you are exhibiting a different type of energy, they do not see this as a connection. If you are someone that is quick to be a mother, quick to be that friend that you can cry on, that sister, that brother, that whatever that energy is that isn't actually your own energy, they have this blindfold on. And Daniel is your angel, your spirit guide, currently working with Pluto to help you release any kind of limiting belief. And he is asking you to go ahead and start leaving and working on your own personal goals, your own personal health, and whatever past relationships that have been around you that have affected your ability to obtain a healthy relationship. Is asking to let those past occurrences go, and any secrets or any trauma that you've been burying deep down that you haven't been opening up about, to unearth them so you can analyze them and evaluate them from a greater sense of peace, so that way they no longer define you and they do not make you feel as if you are broken and that you need to only be around people that grew up with similar energy that you grew up with, or are toxic, more toxic than you ever are, because that is all you've ever known to be around. And Daniel is saying you need to focus on yourself and focus on letting that part of you kind of let go, because that is not who you were meant to be with. That is not who you are as a person. You are not a toxic person. And you're being asked to pike what is not yours, to look at why the things you need to do, the good things that you need to do, and why they are good for you, and constantly remind yourself why you are doing this, and to understand why things may be hard for you to do certain things, why things are heavy for you and to understand why. He's really asking you to maybe look into a group support circle, a therapist or a counselor that can really help you work through this. And by you going on your own journey, your own goals, traveling and doing really what makes you want to explore yourself and everything else, by the time that you, with Pluto, come back around, and it will be a very long journey when you come back around, this person will have seen you doing all this work and seen something really beautiful unfold within you, that they start to see that they need to start working on themselves as well. And when you come back around, this person will be over here with you with what you have already planted. Because this person planted the exact same thing. They want the exact same type of relationship, and they want it to be more respectful. And you do too, with more compassion and empathy, and to allow each other to express yourselves in a healthy way that benefits the long-term goals that y'all can then build together. But I encourage you to watch the rest of the video and go ahead and click on the timestamp link that'll lead you to the first part of this video. And if you enjoyed watching these videos and would like to see more content like this, please like, share if someone is going through this exact similar scenario that could benefit from this information. And comment, let me know how your love journey goes. When you do the work and you get to that point and you are saying I do's, let me know. I want to hear how it unfolded. But other than that, if you would like to go ahead and look into another pile, you are more than welcome to. I'm going to go ahead and get set up, and I wish y'all well. Hi, pile 3. Hello and welcome. And if you're coming from another pile, welcome again. I will first off apologize because while I was getting ready to debrief pile 2, I hit the wrong button because it looked like the 2 lines and I hit 3 lines instead. And I don't know if that was Spirit saying we need this pile to kind of be separated from this video. So that way energies don't kind of conflict and kind of like swim into the next. So I hope you are all right with having to, when you're watching the first video and you go to click on your link and it goes to this video, it doesn't alarm you. But you may have to go to the timestamp within this video's description. I will give the link in the first one, and then you will have to go within the description to get to this one. Otherwise, you'll be very confused jumping into pile 2's debriefing. Or that could be a sign. Maybe pile 2 has some information that is there and readily available for you. So I promise I am not frustrated. I am not going to beat myself up about this. And we're going to go ahead and look at the icebreaker, the crystal icebreaker between both of y'all and what is currently going on around y'all. And we have rhodochrosite, relationships, healing, karmic lessons. Compassion runs through the veins of rhodochrosite, reminding you of your worth and capacity for self-love. A healer of relationships, rhodochrosite opens the heart for healthy communication and breakthroughs. It can attract soulmates into your life, building connections that often feel karmic or fated. Every lesson is for your highest good. And with that perspective, you know that whatever is happening for you, not to you. Rhodochrosite encourages you to express your feelings and reinforces that it is safe to share who you truly are. And even though I read this yesterday and I was writing what happened with pile 2 and me reading this again now, I encourage you, if you felt called to pile 2, maybe this is a sign you should head on over after this. Yeah, I mean, you selected this one first, so let's go ahead and dive in. But all these lessons you've learned about relationships has taught you the need to be able to express your emotions and feel safe doing so. You may be an individual who finds compassion for others struggling in their own romantic endeavors, and this could be this other person as well, because I'm seeing this double energy here where, like, when you see someone struggling in their romantic endeavors, or that you see them with a toxic person, you want to kind of jump in and heal that or be that person for them, but they won't see you in that way. And it can be so frustrating because you are good for someone, but until they can see what they need to heal within themselves, it's like there's this block. Y'all are someone's cheerleader, everyone's cheerleader, who helps nudge them into the spotlight while you wait. The connections you helped others obtain won't be in vain, and there is a divine connection for you as well. You've been encouraged to turn that spotlight on yourself and to be your own biggest cheerleader. This card reminds me really of grapefruit, the one that helped provide medicine to the world by sheer accident. What can you do currently to see the worth you have hidden away? What is something you can do that benefits others? Because think of penicillin. The accident when penicillin was made because of this grapefruit, and understanding the benefits behind this accident. You have, and they have, this skill that is mutually beneficial. So let's go ahead and look at how we can prepare for this relationship. This is the North Node. It talks about destined to have. This is something you are meant to have. This is the head of the dragon. Preparing your soul for a journey that is allowing you to really let the river carry you in this life. It's going to feel as if this person is out of reach or very unnatural to your world setting. You may have been used to a toxic style type of relationship that you thought that was the only kind that you were going to have, but that is not the only kind of relationship that is out there. You were meant to have a really good, destined style relationship. And when you feel as if someone is out of your reach, out of your league, you're putting someone on a pedestal. And you are just as worthy of being accepted for love and being accepted for all the flaws that you believe that you may have. Because your past experiences is what makes you who you are, but it should not define you. You can change your story just as anyone else can and create a different chapter for yourself. This is a feeling that feels like it's been completely suppressed in your early years, but by self-love for yourself, it's helping unlock a door. And this is also them as well. This is a connection that has been intentionally locked. It has been intentionally suppressed because the person you were and the person they were, at that point, it was never going to connect because you needed to grow. You both needed to heal things and start putting yourselves first, because right now you were putting other people first before your own needs. This is a very familiar feeling. This person feels familiar. It's almost like you've known them for your entire life. And you may have known this person. You may have met them when you were younger and then kind of left. Y'all went different ways. And then they come back in and you're like, why does this person feel so familiar to me? And that's because it was meant to feel familiar for you, because this is something you were meant to have. Look at any common threads between your most identifying, shaping, or shattering experiences, and how you can discern, like, notice like when doors were closed and they were really closed, like you weren't going to be able to walk through them no matter what you did. These could be people that you fought so hard to obtain, to be in a relationship with, and it just wasn't going to budge, and you realized you were going to have to just let it go because maybe they got married and they started their own family, and then you were like, that wasn't something I was meant to have. That was truly what I was not meant to have. And when you noticed that there were doors that were open and you went through them, that was teaching you, like, only walk through the doors that were actually meant to be open for you. Don't try to go through someone else's door. Don't try to go through this person's door while they are working on their blocks. Do not try to go through someone's door while they were working on blocks, because it's going to make it hurt and it's going to make it take even longer. There are going to be mistakes regardless where you find yourself. When you open a door and you think, oh, that was a mistake, I should never have even looked at this individual. These people that are being put in place for you to challenge yourself, to overcome obstacles, to discover things about yourself that may need some healing, they're there for you. They're not there to hurt you. You weren't meant to be hurt every time. They were meant to teach you something. This love will reroute just to be near you. And all you have to do is flow as you are now, working on yourself, going towards your own destiny. Because this destiny is like a river. And at first you kind of see it go out of the camera and you don't know when it'll actually meet up. But know that this will eventually meet up. And it will eventually, when it gets to this point where it connects again, that's when you can walk through that door. And you just have to be willing to flow with the current situations that you're in right now and start working on yourself and providing yourself with that love that you need to be giving yourself, that you've been giving to other people, turning that spotlight on you only. So let's look at this other person's blocks. This is the Hanged Man. This person, your significant other's block, future soulmate, their perspective about love in life is being shifted. And they may be drowning in their own life's choices and the mistakes they made previously. This is why you can't walk through that door right now, because they can't make effective decisions for themselves or for others. They can't even be in a sustainable relationship currently. Every river that they've ever jumped in through spat them out. They seen someone that they thought was meant for them, and they immediately jumped out of their river and into their river, thinking that that was the easiest way possible. And they spat them out. And this is making them very defeated. Makes them feel like they're drowning. Everyone that they thought was meant to be, it's giving them this negative view perspective on relationships. Rather than stepping in their next romantic call, they've put themselves in a very long and dry pause. They burned themselves out in the last dip they took. Their eyes are closed shut. And they only eat, drink, breathe just to stay alive. They only do the basic things, almost living like a robot. If they cancel plans constantly, someone needs to pull them out and show them what living really means. But that doesn't mean when you come to that door, that's not meaning solve the problem for themselves. They need to figure out why they can't just flow naturally, why they can't just grow the way they need to be growing, why they feel they need to jump out and immediately jump into someone else's pool. This person needs to pull the plug so they can open their eyes clearly. Right now, they're too vulnerable. Your river leads to their own river. The mountains, the obstacles each of you are facing is what's going to be what makes this a possible soulmate connection. And this card was in reverse. So this makes me think of everything that is drowning them. And they can't see, if they were to pull their head out of the water, most of their body is already out. But they're working on this currently. And if you do know this individual that is going through this, maybe you are this friend, but you've never seen them in this way before. And by coming in and saying, hey man, you need to stop trying to do what you're doing. You need to just flow with it. And then they decide to do that because you were that good counselor, that good therapeutic friend. And they see you in a different way that they've never seen before. And it really, really pulls them to keep thinking about you and thinking about how you went about things. And then eventually they find themselves kind of going back to you. They didn't jump in your pool when they seen this. This isn't that kind of energy. Because this is something they're going to pull themselves out of. This is their own block that they need to work on. They're going to see that you have always been there. Even from the beginning, you have always been there. Your blocks, the Lovers. When you are attracted to something, you explode with an over-intensity that creates tunnel vision. You start neglecting your own needs and lose your ability to move forward with your own natural flow and goals. This manifests as a mind running rampant, and imagine when you see something you like, your claws stick out and you feel like you have to grab it immediately or it's going to be taken from you. And by this chaotic energy kind of coming out, it scares people away. It makes them shy away from it because you're no longer your authentic self. You're almost unnaturally not you. If that makes sense, you act different. When you were just zoning out and doing your own thing and humming along, you are very attractive. And then the instant someone throws an apple your way, and this is coming from a place of needing self-love. If you have never been given authentic love that is nurturing, in a way you can see yourself trying to find that from someone else. You're looking for someone to give you the thing that is only you can give yourself. And when you find yourself catching these apples and you jump ready to please, by the time you snap out of it and see people weren't there for your best interest, your feelings end up being hurt, and you start to feel very rejected. You're someone that will work hard to make someone else's purpose work out, to make them look and feel good, but their intentions or actual feelings become very clouded by you. You act more like a friend or a family member. This is going back to someone that has this problem of trying to be everything for this one person, and all you need to be is just you. You don't need to be the mom, the sister, the brother, that's not your role. They already had those people in their life fulfill that role, and if they didn't, that's something that they need to fill for themselves. That's not something you need to fill. That is a choice that you need to be making for yourself. And that is a choice they need to be making for themselves. So don't be the overdoting mother. Find ways to be the romantic partner that isn't starving for this light that just got shined on you. How can you turn love not into an obsession where it's no longer a quick flame, it's a slow burn that never dies out? And you don't need to open every door in your house to prove you are substantial enough. Don't reveal every mystery you hold or bring past relationships for comparison. Less is more in your case with the golden heart that you have. Notice how the leaves have this pattern on here, right here, and how these leaves look very similar over here. They're not wrapped around this figure. They're wrapped around this figure, and that's how you know that this is who is meant for you. But you can't open that door until you have worked on this and they have worked on their own mental cycles, their own self-limiting beliefs. And the only apple you should be catching is the one that you give yourself. We're going to go ahead and look at your angel's guidance. This is the spirit that is currently working on your relationship with you. And we have Shanti. I am the angel of peace. I bring you new tranquility and a smoother road ahead. Look how smooth this river is, and how eventually it leads into this true north, this dragon's head. And Shanti is going to be able to provide you this peace that you need, this separation where you don't turn to someone else to fill that need. And they're going to help this person's block. They're going to help them find peace and tranquility in this pause so that way they can come out of it and start looking at the people that they have had around them that spat them out, that put them back out onto the streets, so to speak. And right now they're looking away from each other, but you can obviously tell that they were meant to be together. And Shanti is going to help you see how to build that road there. They work with those who go through turmoil, and when their soul echoes exhaustion, this is somebody that's constantly beating themselves up when relationships don't work. They help your mind find peace and quiet, so natural tendencies each person's block has provides clarity. Shanti is going to provide new opportunities to be alone and spend time with yourself and allow you to see what appears. You will start to feel like surrounding yourself with with these, what's the word? It'll be coming from Shanti where you decide, I think I just want to go take a quiet walk by myself. Or when someone says, hey, do you want to go hang out and watch the movie? You're going to be like, I've got plans this weekend. I'm sorry. By detaching yourself and focusing on yourself, that is how Shanti is going to allow these connections to start looking at each other. So don't surround yourself with people or feel like you need to chase this relationship. And don't allow yourself to relive everything that was said, every action this person did. Don't go through your text. Don't go through social media. Don't try to figure out through their friends, through your friends, to see what they're thinking of you. That's chasing. You're chasing something. Just let it unfold naturally. Block these kind of patterns. Because right now your heart can't relax and heal if you keep intentionally hurting it and reading into every little thing that's going on. Even if you're not even intentionally meaning to. You may say things like, how's so-and-so doing? And then you hear they just jumped into another relationship and it hurts you. Focus on yourself, and when things naturally go the way they are, that is when, I know I keep saying this, but that is the only way this is going to even connect. It's the only way the river is going to come back. And even if you don't know this person, and this isn't a situation where it is a connection that you know about, they're doing their own Shanti work. This spirit guide is going to teach you to learn how to mirror this tranquility as if you are around someone you've known all your life and you don't feel panicky, where you feel like you need to chase it because you're scared it's going to burn out, or they're going to look at you and decide that you aren't the one for them, and then they're going to go somewhere else. You should never be a choice. You should be the only choice. And if this person has choices of who they could be with and who they could be dating, they are not meant for you. I'm just going to lay that out on the table. This could be someone that has nothing to do with your circle, and they're currently holed up in their own world. And it's by sheer chance that y'all meet. But I am hearing two sides, so just bear with me. Only take what resonates. Allow yourself to be that center of a hurricane. Only those who know how to swim under the storm will be meant to walk in your peace. And this calm reflection is going to help really smooth this road for you. Take time to notice these things about yourself. Shanti's advice for this is the Two of Cups. And this is why I think you may be called to another pile. I really think pile 2, because this card came out in pile 2. And Shanti is saying, invest in a relationship that feels mutually beneficial and supportive. Be the partner you wish you have now. Don't look for someone else to fill that need. That way you don't chase someone to fill your cup. Have high hopes and expectations for the relationships you serve. Don't always pour from your cup. Don't always be willing to constantly throw all of your time and energy at someone at the expense of your own needs. Be the emotional, intelligent relationship builder here. Develop this skill right now. Don't forget other important relationships and friendships around you. Be supportive, positive, and loving. Don't cancel important plans with others at the drop of a dime. Be okay saying no And don't feel you are missing out on a potential soulmate connection if you do. Create the life you want, and everything else will fall in line. Patience here is going to be key for you. And let's say you have relatives, cousins, or really close friendships, and every time someone threw an apple your way, you became so obsessed with it that you forgot you were supposed to do something very important with this person. Or they were going through a difficult time, and then you seen this apple and immediately forgot that they were going through a difficult time and they needed that moral support, and you chased it. Don't forget the people around you that love you and do care for you for someone that does not care for you. For someone that doesn't have your highest good in their mind. And mystery is very key here. Look at this water and how it's, or her hair, her hair is flowing. It's, don't allow yourself to constantly pour out every secret, every relationship, everything that went wrong. You don't have to reveal all your baggage immediately. By revealing your baggage, it's like you're saying, I don't think I'm worth enough. And I'm putting it in front of me, and I'm putting it in front of you. And if you don't want to be in a relationship with me, you are telling me I am not worthy enough. Don't reveal everything. Work on the things that you need to work on. And then when a relationship unfolds and something occurs, then you can say, oh, that's just something I need to work on. That was a mistake. I didn't mean to do that. And they won't feel like, here's all the red flags. Because that's what it feels like. It's like, I'm going to throw them all my red flags out. And you forget to throw all the green flags in. You immediately flow. You flow your red flags to them and forget to give them the green ones. The green ones you are keeping around yourself. So allow yourself to work towards more self-love, more self-compassion that is more supportive and nurturing, where you're both filling each other's cups. We're going to go ahead and get your word scrabble and charms onto the board, and we're going to pray I don't accidentally push the wrong button. And that may be how you feel. You're scared to push the wrong button. This person is probably scared of pushing the wrong button because of all the rivers he's jumped into, or she, or whoever this may be. All right, here's your charms and your word scrabble. So let's go ahead and look into your word. So I've been talking about how you've been pouring yourself out, and I've been talking about him jumping in someone else's river, and these Scrabble words are perfect for this. Drip, do not pour, only reveal certain things if the situation calls for it. Show the green flags, and only show the red flags when it's something you need to address currently, that you've already worked on, but something happened. And ride in your own lane. Don't try to force something to happen. Don't try to open up a door that is not ready to be opened. And this individual will need to be riding in their own lane and stop trying to jump into rivers to cut to the end. This is asking you to promise to forgive yourself when you catch yourself repeating the same mistakes. It takes time to learn a new habit. It takes time to grow. And you may catch yourself constantly when someone says, oh, you look really nice today. And then that stays in your head. Oh, they said I look really nice today. And then you notice everything about them. Or someone brings you a cup of coffee and you read into it. Allow yourself to forgive yourself And if someone is intentionally trying to get your attention, it's not going to be one apple. You're going to see a whole tree of apples your way. And that's how you know that they are really interested in you and want to create a relationship that is beneficial, that is mutually beneficial. This owl tree is saying to be a wise owl in a bonsai, to learn your roots so you can see what you will grow depending how you nurture yourself. A bonsai must be meticulously trimmed and maintained and monitored daily. This is staying mindful, having mindful thoughts, noticing what your thoughts are bringing in. Service talks about practice service to something greater than yourself and to give yourself some well-deserved love service too. Self-service. And integrity, it's all about choosing integrity over your ego. Don't stop being a healer when people walk away. And that's one thing I may not have touched on with this reading is you are a healer. You are someone that is willing to fulfill a need because you've been the mother, the sister, all of the archetypes. You are able to pick that up and know exactly what someone needs in the moment that they're going through dark nights. And you are someone people constantly go for advice. This person may also too. They're someone that is constantly being sought after because they've been through so many different types of relationships, and so they just have advice about things. And sometimes when you are helping someone else, you find you are helping yourself. And if you are someone that is interested in picking up tarot is a great way, like when you're working on yourself, you're seeing things from a different perspective because the cards are saying something. And it's not until you are working through each card that you see, oh, I can pick up on this. Or if you're just doing it as a hobby and you're trying to help people work through their issues with tarot your own self, you see how by talking to them and using the cards on them, you see something that you didn't see unless you had been helping someone else. This opal ring, it's a promise to stay imaginative. Don't stop changing colors or pretend to not be a precious stone. Have more hope that the divine has a relationship for you, and allow yourself to moderate your desires. So not allowing your emotions to explode the instant someone provides you something you've needed. If you start, I'm telling you right now, if you start providing everything that you've ever wanted in a relationship to yourself now, these apples will not cause you to freak out. I used to crave flowers, and the instant I started buying my own flowers, I am the happiest person. Or when I need to go out and go shopping, I used to drag my husband around everywhere I went. And it used to be very exhausting for him. By separating myself and filling my own needs without needing someone next to me to fill those needs, I am a much happier person, and he is too. And he even provides me with the things. When he sees me picking up the things I really like, he takes note and then eventually starts getting me the things that I like without me asking. So, I mean, it works. It really does. This is the Holy Peace Spirit Dove, and it talks about hope and resilience, turning remnants of conflict into statements of peace and progress. Turning moments of peace and progress. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the debriefing and pray I don't push the wrong button. It does give me anxiety, I will say that. And this may be something like pushing the wrong buttons. You don't want to push the wrong buttons. And you're never going to learn if you don't push a button. You will never know how someone reacts if you don't. So let me go ahead and pause and get everything ready. All right, pile 3. This is the debriefing. You are being encouraged to start fulfilling the needs that you search for in others to give you for yourself. People who give you these small gifts, that smile at you, anyone that causes your heart to flutter and immediately causes your attention to focus on them, it causes this chaotic energy to unfold within you and takes people's intentions and twists it in a way that isn't a relationship. And you're being asked to notice these tendencies. And when you feel like you need to pour your entire self out into a new relationship, to watch how you are showing all of the red flags and all the baggage and all of the past relationships, and forget how you have these green flags that you should be showing, and to allow yourself to continue on your own course and your own goals and focus on yourself and how you can give more self-love service to yourself. And when someone comes in and offers you an apple, don't take that one instance to define how someone feels and their intentions for you. It'll be when they have a full tree of these actions that they've spent towards you that you will be able to determine whether this is a mutually beneficial relationship. And you're being asked daily to treat yourself like a bonsai tree, where you are being mindful of your thoughts and your actions, and you are monitoring and meticulously trimming the things that need to be trimmed around you, and to really give yourself more self-love service than you've ever been given before. Because right now things are not very tranquil, things are not very peaceful in each person's world. Your soulmate, your honeyboo, your significant other currently has a door closed because they are in a very long and dry pause from all the previous relationships that they have been in, and they are currently unable to make emotionally right decisions for themselves. They have been constantly riding and jumping into other people's river when they should have been staying in their own river that leads to you. And by you constantly pouring out your resources, your river your river becomes dry and you're unable to keep flowing down it. Shanti is your personal spiritual guide, currently working on the relationship between the both of you. And they're trying to help you see how the relationships around you can be very unbeneficial to you and unbeneficial to this person. And they're asking for you to put a little bit more faith in Shanti. And when you are being asked to cancel the plans that you have already made with your family and your friends and those around you, to not so readily cancel them for someone else, because the relationships around you matter too, and it's wounding others, and it's also wounding your connections. And the people that are around you that really depend on you and need your guidance and acceptance are not able to really get the help that they need, because you are focused on something else. And you're being asked to find ways to forgive yourself when you do make mistakes. You find yourself constantly catching these apples and the relationships are not working. And this person over here is so scared to open another door because they keep getting thrown out. Only walk through the doors that you need to walk through. that are open for you. Don't try to force a door that is not open for you. When someone says, that's not really how I meant for you to take my actions, I didn't really mean for you to think that I had feelings, take that as a closed door. Only accept what was meant for you, because a closed door is a closed door and an open door is an open door. And right now, this is the one that is open for you, and you need to start practicing more self-service. That was the quick debriefing. I encourage you to watch the beginning of your pile so you can kind of get a little bit more information if this did resonate with you. But other than that, pile 3, I appreciate you for watching and listening and being patient and understanding when things don't go to plan. And if you enjoyed this content, please like, share, and subscribe, especially if you know someone that could benefit from this information. Sharing is caring. I'll go ahead and I'll leave you here, and if you feel like going to another pile, you are more than welcome to, but I'm going to go ahead and start getting ready for the next one. Hi, pile 4. If you are ready to jump into how you will meet your soulmate, let's go ahead and look at your crystal card. So we have purple tourmaline, grounding, protection, serenity. Purple tourmaline gets straight to the heart of the matter, dispelling any negativity around core wounds, especially issues carried over from past lives. Purple tourmaline is a great protector and can create a shield between you and alien invasion, possession, and unwanted attachments. It removes illusions so you can see reality for what it is, without any judgment. This is where serenity and peace lie. When we are able to detach from external views, ground yourself with love and trust that you are always protected. So this crystal makes me think of someone who's had someone taken from them before it was their time. Relationships cut before they could grow. There may even have been an energy snatching what you thought you saw and twisting situations so they blow out of control. If you feel innocent and know your core truths, separate from those who use your circle of friends, family, co-workers, especially if they use them to get back at you. This is making me think that there's someone around y'all that is listening to who you think about, and they try to destroy the ground before it even has a chance to be fertile with extreme lies. They may use your profile to create false messages to prove their lies. This ominous icebreaker, because this is an icebreaker that may be going on in both of your realms. And I know, like, when you clicked on this video and you heard the icebreaker and you were like, how am I going to meet my soulmate? And then the next thing I talk about is you got someone around you that is preventing this. So, and this could be for a very select few. So I don't want you to feel very paranoid, but if I feel that there is a particular type of energy coming through, there's a reason why I'm talking about it. So only take what resonates, but use it as an opportunity to start observing those around you. Especially since we now have AI in the field of today's technology, and it can create false voice and video impersonifications. If I can even say that. It is people, if this person has had their eye on you and you wronged them, they think you wronged them, or they just don't want you to have good things in your life, someone who's very jealous, and they start telling people around you certain things, and they're like, oh yeah, look at this message she sent me, or he sent me, or can you believe she said this? Look at the voice recording. That is what I'm talking about with, these alien invasions, these things that are outside our control, and we're like, why did this even blow out of proportion? That isn't even me. That's not what I said. Observe those around you. That's all I'm really saying about this. Observe, observe, observe. Try going into dark mode and find ways to catch this person. If you don't know who this is, this energy that is around you, and you cannot figure who it is because you have a big group or a big circle, if you were to create a fake profile right now and they try to reveal something that isn't you, what am I trying to say here? Creating a fake profile. I guess what I'm trying to say is you need to, like, right now, they have their eyes on you. That's all I am getting right now. You have someone that has their eyes on you that is preventing you from being with a soulmate connection. And in order to get away from this, you kind of have to go into dark mode and give them a profile that they're going to constantly watch and observe from while you live your life separately from them, because right now their attention is focused on this side, and they're not going to be able to notice what's going on. I'm also thinking you may need to start changing the circle of friends that you surround yourself with, because if they are willing to accept what someone says without their own evidence, without finding out for themselves, those people you should not even be around. But yeah, you need to, I'm hearing, don't reveal what you are trying to uncover. Okay. Don't share what you're working on. Don't share what your goals are. Don't let someone know that you have a crush on someone. Don't give them anything. Don't give them crumbs. Honestly, just be like, I don't know. I'm just kind of like going with the flow. And then they're like, hey, I noticed you were looking at so-and-so. And I said, I don't even know who you're talking about. I am so lost in my mind right now. But give them something else that they can focus on while you work on separating yourself, discovering who this is, and who your true friends are, is really what I'm trying to say. You really need to stay safe. If I'm being honest, like, this is something that I feel like you really need to be safe. Surround yourself with benevolent energy and allow yourself to go dark for the time being. So let's look at how to prepare to meet for your, if I could speak, maybe you were so scared to speak right now because you were uncertain if you say something, if it's going to be turned in a different way. So to prepare for this soulmate connection, we have Leo, self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity. Don't shy from the spotlight. And I know I said go into the dark mode, but this person has you scared to do so. And I want you to go dark, but don't tell them why you're doing everything you're doing. They don't need to know. Don't shy from the spotlight. Truth has no problem being questioned because it bleeds willing integrity. Have confidence in yourself and take pride in what you build and create around you. Discover the raw parts of you that you cherish and the parts that you cherish but you hide for fear of being taken or wounded. If you hide these aspects around everyone, what does that say about the people you surround yourself with? You deserve to be able to express yourself without fear. You are a warm individual soul who lights up the room when you enter. Don't dim your candle's light to make someone else feel comfortable or even in control. You have you have literally, you have so many noble qualities, and this is something you should be exuding. Right now, maybe you have been in the dark already. And I know me telling you to go on dark mode, but go dark mode, particularly on the individual I'm describing, and allow people to come up to you and ask you questions, and don't shy from expressing your truth. Start putting loyalty in areas of your life you want to focus and put attention into. If you feel like you can't shine at work or with others because of difficult people, leave and find your homeland where your pride smiles when they see you. Surround yourself with people who will defend you like a judge with all evidence needed. You are not vain or self-centered. So if people are saying that about you, just know you are not. You're not arrogant. And you should only admit to mistakes you actually did, not the ones you didn't supposedly do. And stop morphing yourself into unnatural shapes. Live out loud and wear your eccentricities with pride. And this is how you're going to prepare to do that, by authentically allowing others to question the truth and allow them to get the evidence from you. While this person is distracted, they think that you're going to just let them keep doing what they're doing, but secretly you are shining the spotlight for all these people to go to while they are distracted. And in this book, for this tarot, this oracle card series, it says you are perfect and lovable, just as you are. A beautiful, unique soul. Authentic self-expression is your birthright. Where do you twist and shrink here? Where do you twist and shrink around people? Leo types of energy, these people really know how to be themselves without shame. And you need to be able to be yourself without shame in this situation. But before I keep going back to the alien invasion, because I feel like I want to jump in and fight this battle for you. That's how I feel about this. Because I know way too much about people who exhibit covert narcissism and use the people around you. I know how hard it is to get away from those type of people. But I digress. Let's go ahead and look into the person's blocks that they're currently, your soulmate's blocks that they need to work on before they can enter into this soulmate connection. And we have Judgment. There's a moment for them where their life flashed before their eyes and they don't know whether the information they have is accurate. And they are not in a position currently to make very just decisions that are based from good judgment. They're having issues currently adapting to change. And the bridge that they were crossing is causing them to turn around and reroute. And they find themselves going through detour after detour after detour. And this is that alien invasion that I was kind of talking about, where it's like they started to make their way towards you. And they said, oh, but did you know? And then they showed them a whole bunch of things which caused them to go another way. Until they start accepting what they see for themselves and experience firsthand, will they be able to accept what needs to be, what the need is being denied and why. why their need to go towards you is being denied, and it's because of this false information that is coming through. And this person, like I said, has been constantly trying to go towards you, but they can't even go towards you because they don't have the right information. And right now, that energy, that spotlight that it's like the light turns on, and then they think, oh, it's the green light, I can actually go up and talk to them. And then this person immediately comes in and they step in, and then you dim and shrink yourself down. And then they're like, oh, maybe she's going through something. Maybe I shouldn't go over there and talk to them. Or I just heard some information about her. I should probably let her do her own thing. That's what I'm getting from this person's block. And they don't know how to best approach you currently. You both need to drop this individual, someone within the circle, someone that is around you, whether it be at work, at home, in the neighborhood, whoever your circle of friends are. This is someone that you both need to drop. And this person really needs a change of scenery. If you only see this person or this connection you were feeling in a particular place, invite them out and have almost like surprise escapes no one knows about except the two of you. And I would even encourage, hey, I was wondering if you would like to go on a secret mission with me. And they were like, yeah, what secret mission? He said, it's only one that both you and I know about, and that's how you do it. And this person becomes distracted with something else. And if there is an ex that is prying in, that y'all are around, that knows there's like a connection between you, find some way to cut that connection. This person shouldn't have any say whatsoever, especially if this relationship has already been passed, it's already been dealt with. And if they feel like they have to come in and intervene with everyone you're with because they don't feel like you should be with anybody, it needs to be cut immediately. Or maybe this friend that they are around who is shaking up everything has their eye on you and they want you for themselves. But that is not, you are not meant for them, because they shouldn't be spreading a whole bunch of things around you in order to be with you. I'm also hearing, if you were in a previous relationship or a previous marriage and children are involved, I ask you to seek professional counsel so they are not used as a control mechanism or potential blackmail. That was a very specific message that came in, because there are laws put in place to prevent alien people from doing so. Paper documentation and support groups are encouraged here. If you are someone that has tried to start a new relationship, you try to get back into the dating pool, and as soon as these exes or this ex comes around, whether it's this person or you, and they hear that they're trying to get out there, they sabotage everything. They screw everything up. But this person has been trying to come to you, and your energy is asking you, because you closed yourself off, you're scared to be yourself, you need to find ways to authentically express yourself while putting up healthy boundaries. Let's go ahead and look at your blocks. I can go on a tangent about this person. You send them my way and I will give them a stern talking. That's really how I feel right now. So the Two of Wands, your block is basically saying there is this path where a choice needs to be made. Currently, when you're surrounded with too many choices or serpents, knowing what to do can be difficult. If you struggle planning or obtaining goals because of fear of the unknown or what someone else is going to do to prevent that, find ways to choose between your head and heart and allow these two to communicate truths so you can make a step. And this is a step-by-step plan that needs to be charted. It's something that needs to be you can see the end goal. And if something messes up, you already know like what the next thing it is that you need to do. You said, if you don't stop doing this, I'm going to report you and file a police report against you. That kind of, I hope it's not that extreme. Or if someone is stalking you, that kind of energy I'm also getting. That is those types of alien invasions. That's what I'm talking about. And, or if you start to notice I'm making plans for myself and they just keep being messed up, figure out why. Divine intervention comes in when you need to be focusing on something else. And when you start to focus on your own goals and the kind of world you want to build for yourself, only then will they be able to start launching themselves at you and orbit around your world, if that makes sense. Explore and find your voice. If your passions are dulled or prevented, discover why. Don't blind yourself with fear that prevents you from moving forward. Always check what is underfoot to see if you feel stable. Because if you are making these quick decisions because you're stumbling all over the place, when you stumble and you fall, while you are on that stable ground, look to see who or what or why you are even there. Is it you or is it someone else? Is it your job? Is it the mindset where you light up and then you close off and then it's like these opportunities go missed? But always check what's underfoot to see if it feels stable before you take the next step. If you start to notice it's shaky, take a step back and see, is there a snake underneath there? Stop stalling and let people know your boundaries and how you will cut cords without fear. Go ahead and say whatever you want. Do what you say you're going to do. And stop apologizing for living. Stop feeling guilty for someone else's feelings. You know why you moved on, so don't turn back. You know why you moved away. You know why you made your decisions, and you don't have to keep explaining yourself to someone who can't accept it. Someone who believes you were meant for them, and that is not a healthy energy. They are so wrapped up in themselves that they have to have control over everything, and then you were the one thing that slipped out from their world, and they noticed that the entire time that world that they thought was theirs was your world. They started taking advantage of your world and you slipped out, and now they don't have anything to hold anymore because they don't know how to build their own life for themselves. And your block is asking you to start planning for yourself again, and do not give your world to another person. Your goals are your own, and they should be aligned to what you want to do, that bring you more passion, that make you feel more confident. And don't allow someone to take your world from you and then put their own aliens on your world. Aliens who will not be loyal to you. Because this makes me think of a queen who was in an energy where no one around them was loyal to her but this serpent. And your world has this person in it still. And by working on these blocks and allowing people to come to you and say, hey, so-and-so said something about you, and I was kind of wondering about it because I noticed you were somewhere else completely different, and there's no way that the two time stamps match up. And that's when you're like, oh, yeah, actually, I'm glad you said something, because I told them that the next time that they try to say something about me or try to use AI or try to use any kind of information to make me seem to be as something I'm not, that I was going to legally do something about it. And that's when they're going to be able to make that judgment and maybe even be that judge with you. They may have those connections to be like, I think I know who I need to bring into the situation. And by working together, this is that soil. This is the soil that you need in order for it to be fertile and grounding and rewarding. But let's go ahead and look at your angel guide that'll be working with you. And pile 4, y'all are a very special pile because this card has 2 cards apparently. And when I pulled it yesterday, it was so stuck to this card that I thought that it was just one card. And when I was doing and writing the journal entry for this, it was so stuck. And I was like, for a minute, I thought I did have 2 cards. And then I was like, no, it's just 1 card. And then when I got your cards ready out and I seen it, I said, Spirit, you're amazing. And this is going to work for this pile. I am so glad you revealed this at the last minute. So this is Adriana. I am leading you toward the answer to your prayers. Please listen to and follow the steps I am communicating through your intuitions, thoughts, and dreams. Step-by-step plans and making sure things are stable before you make the next step. Adriana reveals herself because you were asking for help and you let them know you need careful planning. She wants you to notice those repetitive thoughts and feelings or visions, dreams, or auditory messages that you hear. And what I mean by auditory messages is you're out and about and maybe you hear a song on or the television and whatever you were thinking is said immediately right then and there. Or if you find yourself meditating and listening to frequency music and you just hear something come out, that is your step-by-step guide being built for you. And the other guide that is working with you is Mystique. So you know how I said you need to kind of go dark and not reveal what you are going to be doing, what your next move is? Plan it within you. And Mystique is keep charging ahead and don't take no for an answer. Expect miraculous solutions to appear. If this person says, I'm going to keep doing whatever I want to do, you can say, you can keep doing everything that you want to do. I'm going to keep doing everything I want to do. And everything you do is not going to deter me from where I want to go. And legally, I can do something about this. I can even cut the cord. And if you show up at my door, if you show up around my friends, I can legally do something about it. And your actions are going to prove that they thought you were this timid lion cub, when in reality you were this big, fierce lion queen who has been secretly holding your light and your beautiful rays for the right person. And you are going to protect this energy. You are going to protect your relationship, and it's going to feel more grounded. And you're going to be able to go wherever you want in this world, and they will not be able to find you because you went dark. They have no idea who you're with. They have no idea what you're working on. And you are saying yes to things, whereas you used to just say no to things. You used to allow this energy to control you. And the Two of Wands, by doing this trip around the world where you are discovering yourself and lighting up the room again, they're just going to be this dark corner in space. That's all they are. They're going to be in space. And that's all they will have. And Spirit has been meaning to do this for a very long time. They just needed you to say and acknowledge, I need help with this. So you've got two people right now, two individuals, two spirit guides, two benevolent workers who are currently with you that are having you walk back this way. And I know I was talking about children in the beginning of the video. This is kind of like what I was talking about, where you are able to take the things that you love and spirit is able to help bring them with you. So you may go to this light where the torch is being lit, and they're able to see this torch now. They see it over the steps. They see this light, and now they're able to actually walk towards it. And Mystique is charging, so that way this individual always stays in the dark. And they will never be able to even make movement towards you. Here's their advice. We have the Page of Wands. Open up and experiment with your life. Look at the compartments that surround you, your family, social life, work, passions. What takes more time and energy, and what has the greatest rewards? Introduce new energy, approaches, ideas, and activities. Meet different people. So like I said, they had a whole bunch of wrong people around you, keeping an eye on you. Cutting them off, you make your own friends. You develop your own circle. Explore new places. Don't worry about perfectionism or getting it right the first time. Play for a while and see what happens. See what happens when you do decide to take the world back for yourself. See what happens when you start doing the things that you enjoy doing. And see what happens when you start standing up for yourself. See what happens and see how beautiful this flower is and all of these obstacles that you have overcome and these stars that are in the background. Your world is more vibrant, it's more warm, it's more inviting. It's you holding your world and only allowing those who had integrity, who could find the truth out for themselves and want to bring you a more peaceful and more tranquil world. So let's go ahead and jump into your word scrabble and your charms. All right, here's your charms and your word scrabble. So we have wise key, and I love it when Spirit gives me Scrabble words that spells out a whole word and I don't have to infer or try to discern, especially when they take all my vowels away and I only have consonants and I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to tell me. So wise key, open doors from a place of wisdom and experience. Try new things. Unlock what makes you a smarter person. Intuition reveals the path where you have the key. By you walking towards what is your world, you become more wise and intuitive by trying new things. And if it doesn't work out and it doesn't make you feel good, you don't have to keep it in your world. You can always try something different. And so we're going to go ahead and look at your charms. So let me go ahead and anytime I find something around the house, and whether it's been something my children have played with and they never picked up and I keep picking up, I end up putting it in my charm basket. And this one I found on a shelf and I said, oh, well, I guess you're going to go into my charm basket. But every new charm I ever put in that basket always comes up in a new reading. Never fails. And I never thought that I would get the golf ball, to be honest. So this is a golf ball and it has the number 2 in Callaway on it. And it does have the number 7 on the back, but 2 was the one that came up. And we have the 2 of Wands. So 2 is a very, very indicative number. And I encourage you to start noticing when you start to see patterns of 2. You're being asked to look at your priorities, things that you need to balance around you, and what you are currently carrying on your own plate. So this golf ball, and I had to look up a lot of things about a golf ball could mean. This could be the life's journey, the priorities. It talks about growth spiritually, because we do have a lot of wands energy in here. So there's like this need to go on a spiritual journey. It's the personal challenges. It's life's marks, the dimples, the things that have defined us and made us who we are. It distinguishes the essential from the less critical. Here, patience is considerably important. This also talks about being able to call penalties on yourself and acknowledge your own mistakes and take action for them and not repeat them. How do you tell your ball from someone else's? How do you tell it's your world from someone else's world? Are you working for someone else's world, or are you working for your own world? And this also makes me think maybe the company you were working for may have not aligned to your values and you wanted to try your own business, do something different. How can you start working towards that? And this also talks about compression. How or who do you compress around? And if you think about golf, you know, when you first start out, it's probably not going to be the best. And you have to constantly make swings till you actually sink it into the hole. And when you do sink it into the hole, you start to feel really good. But by the time you keep doing it over and over again, eventually you'll be a pro at it. You'll be more wise about the decisions you make. And when you notice that you hit the ball too hard, did you hit the ground? Was it unstable? That step that you took? And when you hit the ball, did someone pick it up and it wasn't theirs to have? And how can you call them out so that way they don't take something that doesn't belong to them? We have Colossio Roma, and I love this charm because it comes out in a lot of readings. A lot of people are working on the boundaries that they've set up for themselves that are no longer fortified, and it is allowing all sorts of different energy to come in because it is easy to jump over. But I take this and it always shows up around Leo. I kid you not, this shows up whenever there's a lion or a Leo around because it makes me think of someone who has developed their own strength and they no longer need this big barricade around them. And they're able to effectively tell people that they're not allowed to do their BS anymore. And by feeding the weak lion and giving the weak lion strength, you are able to walk with this lion wherever you go in this life because it trusts you to feed it. It trusts you to make the right decisions, and it trusts you to not put it back into the battleground again. This blue voodoo talks about peace, spirituality, healing, tranquility, and protection. It kind of reminds me of like a little ninja, sneaking in the dark and going where you need to go. So that way those who have dark eyes on you have no way of touching you. This is a yin choker. And whenever I get this in a reading, it makes me think of someone who was controlled and prevented from expressing their own flow of creativity, their own divine feminine energy. This doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be a female. What it means is that aspect of yourself has been choked and you are being encouraged to break the walls that are choking you so you may explore the world that is around you that you want to find for yourself. It's asking you to be more creative, to try new things, but don't force it. It's asking not to force things to happen. It's allowing things to unfold naturally. And we have these eyes here, and that was even more confirmation about someone being around you that has had their eyes on you. And they're constantly looking for signs of you. They're looking and looking. And right now, Spirit is trying to come in now that you have this information and prevent them from doing so. Allowing yourself to go dark. And Mystique is causing them to chase something else. And this kind of devil type energy that's coming through is, and I kind of want to talk about this because I wasn't sure how I was going to talk about this one, because this one makes me think of Capricorn type energy and it makes me think of the devil. I had a dream recently. I've been having a lot of good dreams and intuition coming through where I was in this room and everyone was freaking out about this snake that just got in. And when the snake came in, it was this big, fluffy, long, furry cheetah snake. And everyone was freaking out and saying it was a snake. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is just a fuzzy, cute ball of fur string. And I picked it up and I was loving on this cheetah cat worm snake thing. And that's what it's making me think of. And at first I was thinking this was talking about this watcher, but I feel like this is talking about maybe you were perceived to be a threat to others when in reality you were this cuddly cheetah thing. And now you have these horns to tell people that if you mess with me, you will get the horns. And I'm also thinking cheetah talks about quick pace energy that needs immediate change, and snakes, they shed their skin. And this is telling me you need to make a really quick decision. The first decision you need to make needs to be really quick, and it needs to be separating from this and immediately changing your surroundings, changing your information, changing how they are able to have access to you. All right, guys, this was your reading. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the debriefing, if you don't mind. This way, if anybody wanted a quick debriefer, they would be able to get the information that they needed. And so here's the debriefing. You are at a point in your world currently where you have noticed how you may have someone within your circle that has had their eyes on you. This may have been a previous relationship, a previous marriage, a previous something, or even a friend that has had their eyes on you, or someone within your circle has had their eyes on you, and they have been preventing you from actually going toward your own soulmate. And they may have even been spreading lies about you and making people think that you're not a good person to even date. And anybody that is around your circle right now you need to observe and question their intentions, because the good people around you would find out the truth for themselves, and they would know who you are based off of your actions and how you live your life. And if this is someone that has had a marriage and you've had children around you, you're being encouraged to actually seek actual counsel, legal counsel, to prevent any kind of blackmailing, using the children to keep you from actually starting a relationship again, especially if you've already been divorced. You've already cut the relationship. It's all on paper, but they keep using the children as a means. Well, if you start dating someone, you're never going to see the kids again. That kind of energy is what I'm talking about. And in order for you to meet your significant other, your future soulmate, you need to start being more confident in yourself and your abilities, because currently you've been allowing this person to take your world and change it for you. And this person has been trying to come in, but they haven't been able to, because every time they go towards you, they shine a red light and it becomes a detour, and then they turn away. But Adriana is working on developing a step-by-step plan with you, and you need to also be helping her with that step-by-step plan. Because when you start making steps, and you start to notice the ground is uneasy, it starts to crumble, that's your sign to wait before you do your next move, especially if this person's here. Now, you did have 2 spirit guides come through with this reading. Mystique is going to help you charge ahead and not take no for an answer. If this person tells you no, I'm going to keep doing whatever I want and there's nothing you can do about it, you're going to allow your horns to be revealed with truth and clarity with those that can help you with this. And you're being encouraged, like I said, go dark for a little bit. Don't reveal your next step. Don't reveal your plan. Only work on your own goals. Don't let anyone in your circle until you've obtained it. And you need to be very wise about this and use your intuition. Your intuition is going to be key for this whole energy. When you start to feel like you're being choked and your light is being dimmed and you're being discouraged from being your most authentic self, let that be your indicator that you need to step away. And it'll take patience, it'll take timing, it'll take practice, but you are being encouraged to explore new careers, to explore new hobbies, to explore a new friend circle, actually make new friends that have nothing to do with your previous relationships, and to start walking in your truth more, to start expressing your truth more. All right, pile 4, that was the quick debriefing. I do encourage you to actually watch the video from beginning to end, just because I do go into a rant about whoever this alien invasion is. I'm a firm protector of people who are subjected to that kind of energy. And when you get to that point where you are able to finally be with your significant other and you're able to say I do's, please let me know. Let me know how your journey goes, how you resolved your blocks, and what your step-by-step was. And that way, that's going to help someone else if they're going through the exact same situation as well. And if you like this comment, please like it, share it if you know someone can benefit, and subscribe to see more just like this, because I love making these types of videos. But without further ado, pile 4, if you feel like going to another pile, you are more than welcome to. I'm going to go ahead and check out right now and start working on the next tarot reading that I've got set up. Bye, guys.